Well, hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming, and on this video tutorial I'm going to show you how you can take some canvas duck and make 3 different styles of flowers. We're also going to be using a little bit of this nautical rope, a little twine, and some buttons, and lots of hot glue. So, this is the video that I recorded last week, and whoever saw it live got to see it, but then I don't know, something weird happened and I haven't been able to access it or share it or anything. So I'm just recording it all over. Okay, so what I have here is 2 Dollar Tree burlap banners. Okay, I used all the pieces but 2. So this is 2. So $1.25 a piece. This was $2.50. And this is where we're headed. So I'm going to show you how to do this kind of a flower. And then I'm going to show you this one, which is basically the same, except they have a different center. And then I'll show you how to make this little one. And then I'll show you how to make this. And then we'll glue some stuff on and finish up my banner, which I think is going to be awesome for spring and early summer. Okay. Where did this come from? All right, so let's start with the big flowers first, and with the rope. This is Dollar Tree rope. You could, you can use that, or any other kind of rope, or yarn. Just whatever you want. And I'm going to show you how to do a quail. Okay. I also recommend that you use a low temperature hot gluing device and not a high temperature one, because it's not any fun to get a hot glue burn. Okay, so I just have a little square. We'll cut it in the shape of a circle once we have this glued on. And these flowers, by the way, you can make these in any size you want, just by, the size of what you start with, how much you use, how big of pieces you cut. So you don't have to do this exactly the way I am doing it. So I see lots of people hopping on. I know I got at least 25 questions from people saying, why can't I find that video? Like, well, why can't I find it either? I just couldn't. Okay, I'm going to just go a little bit further and then I'm going to say good. Good. Okay, and I'm going to cut this tail long enough that I can fold it over to the back. But before I do that, we're going to cut a circle so that this canvas duck disappears underneath this coiled rope. You could probably do this similar idea with that brown rope that you can get at Dollar Tree, or with the blue and cream rope. That would be pretty. Okay, it's sort of a circle. The point is just to have that part disappear. And it's gonna, let me grab some glue sticks. Okay. And I don't need to worry too much about this because it's going to get covered up. I just want to make sure that it's down. Okay, it's not a perfect circle, and that does not matter. Okay, that's the first one. Now I'm going to show you how to do a rolled rosette. And let's see, I need a little bit wider fabric. We'll use this. This is canvas duck. What is canvas duck? If you're new to DiyDreaming, maybe we'll use this one, then you might not know that I love to craft with canvas duck, which is just really thick canvas fabric. You can get it at Joann's, Hobby Lobby, fabric stores. You can get it on Amazon even, but you want to purchase a heavy, thick weave, okay? So, I have another piece here. This is one of the centers of a flower. We're going to make another. And I'm going to use, which fabric do I want to use? I think I'll use this. Okay, and how I get this is really fun. I love ripping canvas. You're just going to take a snip and it will tear straight. Oops, it's not a big enough snip. That's it. And then you can pull, you know, the pieces off. The edge, the long, messy stuff. Okay. So to start a rolled rosette, and I want to cut this finished edge off. Anytime you're going to do, I call these rolled rosettes. Anytime you're going to do a rolled rosette, you want to start with a knot. It's going to be the center of the rosette. It's called canvas duck cloth. Or you could just ask for really thick canvas, and it comes in different weights. I think from a 6 to a 10. 10 is pretty stiff, and so it's great for making stuffies. But I like more the middle of the road. Okay, so I'm going to put a blob here, and I'm going to stick my knot into it. And then I have my strip sort of folded in half, and I'm just going to start twirling and twisting and pushing it close up to the center. This is a great messy craft. If you are imprecise like me, I cannot cut a circle to save my life. You will love making these flowers. And you can do this with any kind of fabric you want. I just am obsessed with canvas duck. I love all these textured but neutral kind of projects. And canvas duck does come in a variety of colors and prints. But the one I prefer, to be honest with you, is this color right here, which is sort of an ivory oatmeal-ish color. So I'm just rolling and twisting it around and pushing it into my glue. And let's just go right here and say good. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. Let's cut ourselves a big enough piece that we'll be able to wrap that around the back. And I'm just going to cut a sort of circle so that these edges, this square disappears. Okay, and then I'm going to pull this around the back, stick it in my glue, and trim it. Okay, and here is my rolled rosette. Easy peasy. Okay, so this first flower, let me show you what it looks like when it's finished. this is gonna all be mostly covered up anyways. Okay, so the first flower that we're gonna do looks either like this, or it looks like this. This is the rolled rosette center, and this is the rolled or coiled Dollar Tree rope. Okay, so this or this. And you need 6 petals, which I have started to cut out. Let me grab my ruler because I know somebody will ask. And you can do these petals absolutely any size that you want. But I'm doing mine about 2 inches tall and about 1.5 inches wide. Okay, so these 3 are ready. You need 6. And I just cut these out of a strip, you know, that I tore. And I'm going to make this little petal sort of shape on the top. And they don't have to all be the same. It does not have to be perfect. Okay, so I have 6 pieces. And let's do it on the back of this one. I'm not going to do this flower twice because I have 2 other styles to show you. But let's do it on the back of that. Let me look. Yeah, we're doing it on the back of the coiled one. Okay, so you're going to take all 6 pieces of your petals and you're going to put some glue like that. Can you see? And then you're just going to fold it over on itself. This is what gives your petals their shape. So then when you open it up, you get that. And I'm going to do all my petals at the same time. So you need 6. And mine are about 2 inches long and 1.5 inches wide. And I would say that I glued about not quite 1 inch. Okay, so I have 6 petals ready to go. And again, I could put these on the back of this rolled rosette, but we're going to do this coiled rope instead. Okay, so what you're going to do is take your petals and you're just going to pull them open, and you'll notice that they have that shape now. And I am going to start with the top and the bottom. And I'm going to fold over this little part that's glued and just push it flat. I'm also going to add some more glue where I'm noticing that I don't have enough. Definitely you want to use a low temperature. How cute are these? Thank you. You know what? I know you guys would eventually get bored, but I could do flowers every day of the week. I love doing flowers. I love doing all kinds of different flowers. So I have my up and my down on, and now I'm going to do 2 petals on each side. And I'm going to fiddle around with how they're laying. Okay, and here's the start. So if you want your petals to be bigger, cut your strip wider, or if you want them to be longer, cut your strips longer. Okay? This is just there's no specific reason why I did it this size. Uh-oh, I lost a petal. Where did it go? Oh, no, I didn't. Sorry. Francie Bean says she loves... Oh, Bean. I remember you told me how to pronounce that. Francie Bean says she loves my canvas flowers. Thank you. I love them too. I would do flowers and stuffies every day. But I like to mix it up too. Okay, so this is where we're headed. Look how cute that is already. All right, and now on the back, I'm going to fold these little things down and tack them into some glue. And then I think we're good to go. Okay, no canvas duck flower is complete, in my personal opinion, without a vintage mother of pearl button in the center. Those are my favorites. So let's see if I can find something in this little bag. Ooh, I want that one. It has kind of a yellowish tinge to it, and see where it's messy in the center? I'm going to cover that up with a button. So we will add this to our garland, and I will show you how I took two Dollar Tree burlap banner things and created one so it was longer. The ones they have 6 pieces. And I think, anyways, I needed something longer for my fireplace. Okay, there's our flower. Of course, you could keep going and create some leaves. You could do all kinds of different things. Let me look at this for just a minute. Okay. So we will put this in the center. And here what this would be exactly the same. This is coiled rope. This is rolled rosette. Okay, the next one I want to show you is this little one. And this style of flower can be made any size you want. Just do wider strips and longer pieces. All right? So this is what I'm doing. You need let's see, 1, 2, you need 3 pieces. So I just started with these thinner strips and I rounded the ends. And I'm going to kind of do the same thing to create some shape. I'm going to put a little bit of glue. And then I'm going to fold it in half. And this kind of a flower we will, oh, I didn't cut the end of this one. We will fiddle around with to get it to lay nice. This is very similar to the other style, except it doesn't have a center that it's built on. And instead of 6 pieces, we're using 3 longer ones. Oh my gosh, I have so many glue strings on my hands. What do you guys think so far? I need a name for this one, and the first ones too. Although I could call this flower coiled rope petal flower or something. I don't know. Okay, so I have my 3 pieces. 1, 2, 3. And all we're going to do is start gluing them together at the part that is not glued down. So I hope you can see what I'm doing. It's not super lovely yet because we have to fiddle around with it a little bit. I need these petals to not be quite so tightly glued. This low temperature hot glue, well, I'm going to leave that one alone, is it's pretty strong. Okay, and then I'm going to glue them a little bit more on top of each other. Okay, this one looks good. It's just this one part. There we go, kind of pulled open. So don't put your glue too far down towards the end of the petal on this style of flower. Okay, that's gonna work. Okay, here we go. Then I decided to put something on the back just to cover up this mess. Did I? No, it was on the other one. Okay, and we need a larger button for the center. I have in my, these are all the buttons that I took with me when I went to my mother's house. We might do 2. What the heck? That could be pretty. Look at this one. Okay, people ask me all the time, where do you get buttons? Well, lately, I have a button friend who has been giving and selling me some buttons, but usually I find them at antique malls in big jars. Look how pretty that little flower is. I mean, I could even put one more piece of something in the center. Find a pretty little teeny one. Yeah, let's use that. So I think that's probably the best place, but I've heard from you guys who have gotten, you know, big bags of buttons at swap meets and things like that. Okay, this is going to look much prettier when we glue it on our piece. Okay, so we've made these 2. I have this one. Okay, we're going to do the last one, which involves some round pieces. And I was starting to try to cut around. And these can be absolutely whatever size you want. That will determine how big your flower is. Get 2 more on here. Yes, I can. Let me grab a pin. Why cut out one at a time? Would I pay $15 for a big bag of buttons, a big jar of buttons. Yes, absolutely, if in looking at it, I could tell that they were real shell and not just, you know, mass manufactured plastic buttons. So yeah, if I could find a jar that had all mother of pearl. I like both of these colors. Let me show you. This is a gray. That's the back of a white, actually. Find one. I don't have as many of these. I don't find that they're as, here we go. It's kind of a grayish color. And then I love the ones that are white. Okay, so I have 3 pieces of round. By the way, did you guys see when we made these little mini embroidery hoop pin cushions? This is canvas duck also. And I just stenciled it with, I think this is the flower something, stencil and white ink. And then I put some stuffing in there and some cork on the bottom. Okay, I don't want to use the piece that has the pencil mark on it. So all I'm going to do is just kind of stack these. Not completely piled up perfect, but all right, and then you're kind of going to pinch. Let me find this flower. You're kind of going to pinch some points to it. Can you see right here? To give it the shape. So I would start with the back one. And I would just do 4 and do them pretty close in. Can you see that? To the center dot where I put my glue. Let's do the other side. So if you were watching the video that I recorded last week, it was great when it was live. Everything was fine. But then it still says it's loading. So I don't know. I can't figure out any way to capture that video. So I just decided to do it another video. Okay, so see how I just did 4 little pinches. And we're going to do that with the next layer, but don't pinch in the same spot. Put a little blob of glue and pinch kind of in between where your puckers are. Donna, I'm hoping that this video is just a-okay and that you can come back and watch the replay. That's so frustrating. Because I had so many people wanting to see that tutorial and it just kind of disappeared. This is giving this some shape, and I'm just doing 4 pinches with a little tiny blob of glue. Wait, that's not a good spot. Never mind that. Let's try right here. And it's 3 layers of the same size circle, basically. Oh, it's looking cute already. Okay, let's do the center one. And you know what? I'm going to cut the center one just a little bit smaller. If I can. Okay. I want to get this big side cut down a little bit. So maybe you want your center one to be slightly smaller. So I've done the 2 layers, and now I'm going to look where my second layer pinches are, and I'm going to kind of alternate and do my pinches for this one, you know, where it's not pinched on the other. This is one of those crafts where I don't really have the right words to describe how to do it. This is a redo of that tutorial, yes, because that tutorial just sort of disappeared in cyberspace. It says, I believe even today, a week later, it still says that it's loading. And it was just a regular video, so I don't know what's going on there. So yeah, I had so many people ask for that tutorial that I decided to just re-record it. Look how cute that is. See how it's got all that movement because of the pinches? And let's, of course, find a button. Needs to be sort of medium-ish. That's a pretty one. Okay, I did not do any leaves. All right, so those are the 3 kinds of flowers. This one was the second one. This was the first, which you could do this with a rolled rosette center instead of the coiled rope if you wanted. And then this one. They're all very different, I think. Okay, so here's the deal with my banner. What I did was I pulled the ones off the rope that I could get off, and I cut the others. And then I just lined them up. Can you guys see? Let me scooch back just a little bit. Okay. So, and then I just put some glue right over the spot where the stitching is. These are pretty nice little banners, and they have different shapes, so you can get whatever you want. And then the hardest part of doing this one that I'll show you in a minute was sort of guesstimating so that they would all be the same distance apart, basically. This is why you want to use low temperature. I have not seen everybody's comments because I've been so focused on my flowers, but I want to tell you something. I sit down and I come back to my videos many times and I read everything that you guys say. I have just recently learned, this makes me sad, that Facebook thinks it's spam or something like that when I like every comment that you guys say. And the reason why I want to acknowledge that I've read it, okay? I've read everything that you guys say in the comments. But going forward, I'm probably not going to like every comment because I don't want to go to Facebook jail. But that doesn't mean that I didn't read what you said, okay? And if you ask a question, of course I'll answer that. Or you want a link or something. So that's basically how I turned 2 banners into 1. Oh my word, it's a mess here. Okay, we're going to use these flowers. Okay, just 2, let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I have 10 pieces on this one. And on this one right here, which is the center, we're going to add some of these flowers that we just made. And then I'm probably going to leave the end little flag thingy empty, I may just come back and add some buttons down the road. I don't know. I can't decide. So I thought for this piece right here that we would do some kind of an arrangement, and I'll show you what I did with some of these in just a second. I want to get all 3 flowers on here. And I think that works just fine. Yay. Okay, so I'm just gonna, this is what the back looks like. It's messy, but it's gonna get glued down, so nobody's gonna see it. Boy, every time I've been live today, my phone has been ringing. Okay, so let's see, I need some more glue. What do you guys think so far? Do you like it? I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna put this on my mantle and have this be sort of my inspiration for my springishy decor. That is cute. Cute, cute. Okay, and then to keep the petals from flopping over, I just put the teeniest little dot of glue on the back of each petal, and then I pushed it into the burlap. Because I don't want to take the shape away, but I don't want them flopping over. And I won't do it to this one that's on the outside. I think the little ones, I might just put a little bit of glue right here. Okay, let me show you. I'm so excited. Okay, so here's the end piece. This one right here is the coiled rope. This right here is a combination of those 2 flowers. The one that's 3 pieces that we pinched. It's kind of stacked 3 pieces, and this is the one with 3 little petals that go across. Here's that bigger flower with a rosette, and for this one, I added some buttons towards the end of each petal. And then here's the one that we just made. And here's this one with the buttons. And this one. And the coiled flowers. So what do you guys think? Do we like what we have made? I at the beginning of the video is where I explained how to make each style of flower. So, and it's impossible to describe it in words. So if you want to know how I made those 3 different styles of flowers, just look for this video to watch it on replay and start at the beginning. Because that's where I talked about everything, where things came from and all that good stuff. Anyways, and if you liked this project, I would love it if you would consider sprinkling it to your social media. I will get good close-up pictures. I'm not going to add buttons to this center one, I don't think. And I don't know if I'm going to put buttons on the end pieces. It's kind of busy, so I might just leave those plain so your eye can rest at the end of it. Oh, Barbara says it's just perfect. Thank you guys. Oh my gosh. Pansies! That is what this looks like. Dixie, is that the one you mean? Either that one or this one. Do they kind of look like pansies? Is that the one you're referring to? I like that. Okay, we'll do this. But you know what I just learned? Facebook actually doesn't do anything good when you do this. And by good, I mean they don't share my videos out to a wider audience because people have done this. This is kind of considered neutral. That's a fun. But when you do this, a heart or a smiley face emoji, that is much better. Yes, I showed how to make all of these, Bonnie Ann, at the beginning of the video. So come back and watch it on replay when I'm no longer live. So do this. Say something to me in the comments. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Check to see if you've liked and followed this page. And come back later today to see this all finished up and hanging on my mantle. Oh, Dixie says a colorful one. Okay, so again, I'm going to go sit down and read all your comments. But I'm not going to like every single one because Facebook thinks that I'm spamming you. So if you had a question, I'll answer that, but just know that I'm seeing everything you're saying, and I so appreciate it when you guys interact with me, seriously. And I love it when you say you love what I did. That is awesome. Alrighty, you guys have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys tomorrow for something which might actually be, you want a little preview? If you're not watching live, then this won't be what you see the next day. So this is those Dollar Tree adhesive wall tiles, and this is one of those little watering cans. I'm just using it for the shape, but we're going to make a bigger watering can, and we'll back it on something, and we'll use flowers coming out of the top, and we'll paint it. I'm thinking green with maybe some white distressing. I don't know. I can't decide for sure, but this may be what we'll do tomorrow.